One of the things that God does not play about is his word. God takes his word extremely serious. He kind of lives by it. If you want to use that verbiage, he exists by his word. God creates through his word. God speaks a word and it's done. There's no delay. There's no any entity that can challenge it. When God creates, God creates. And this is what distinguishes God from everything else in this existence. And when we look at scripture, we look at a law, we look at a covenant, we look at promises that God has established that are not variable. They don't fluctuate. They are fixed. They stay the same. I don't care if it's today or I don't care if it was 1,000,000 years ago. If God spoke it, it's what it is. And these are the things that we must be able to align to in our walk with God. These are the things that create a level of faith in our walk with God that we can lean on. These are the pillars in the system of God that allow us rest, that allow us to keep going, that allow us the ability to endure. Because we know we're dealing with something that's fixed, that will not change. Even though people change, even though seasons change, even though things change, these things of God are fixed and they do not fluctuate. Yet when we deal with one another, you deal with temperamental people. And people change, friend. It's very difficult to put the entirety of your faith in a person. I don't care who it is. People change. People change and you will change. You're a person. Even as a parent, we see this often. We see our children grow up from babies to infants to small children to adolescents to teens and then to young adults and then to full-fledged adults. And with every degree of their growth, there's a different personality set that shows itself. And to be completely fair to them, in their growth, they see different personality sets to us. They see us grow with them, regardless of how old we are when we have them. We all change. The human condition is a fluctuating type of cyclic, seasonal condition that is prone to change. And in this cyclic, seasonal condition that we all have as humans, depending upon what season you catch us in, we may very well have to renegotiate how we see one another, regardless to our relationship. Regardless of how close we are to one another, regardless of how much we love one another, we must renegotiate how we see each other based upon the criteria being presented within that season. It's just how it goes. But with God, it is not like that. God is the same God today as God was yesterday and as God will be tomorrow. And that in itself is the single-handed biggest gift we've got in this life, is that everything else will change but God. So that in itself should propel us to know God, regardless of what you call God. That in itself should push us forward even more to really investigate God, to find out the nuances of God. What are the promises of God? What are the laws of God? These things I must know before I know anything else in this life. Because it is of these things that all things flow. And it is of these things that I will find shelter if the winds ever get too monumental. If the storm comes abruptly and shakes the foundation from which I stand, I can find shelter in God. But with people, y'all, we don't have the same luxury. So what do you do